All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down what seems like a totally normal phone call. You know, the kind you've probably had 100 times. But hidden inside this everyday chat is a masterclass in communication. It shows us that what we don't say is often way more important than what we do.
And it all kicks off with this line, a completely random, out-of-the-blue comment about a playground game. But trust me, this one sentence is a huge clue. It's a signal that there's so much more going on here than you'd think. This is where it gets really interesting.
And that's really the big idea we're digging into today. How we use all that seemingly meaningless small talk, not just to kill time, but as a kind of bridge, a way to carefully walk ourselves toward the stuff that actually matters. It's like a warm-up before the main event. To really get this, we're going to use a metaphor that I think is perfect, the conversational iceberg. What we hear on the surface, yeah, that's just the very beginning of the story. So here's the deal. The tip of the iceberg is the easy stuff, the how's the weather, the random facts, all the pleasantries. But down in the depths, that's where the real reason for the call is hiding. That's where you find the real emotion and what a person actually needs. Our job is to figure out how to navigate from that tip all the way down into the deep. So first up, let's hang out at the tip of the iceberg for a bit. This is all about the small talk, which is great for building rapport, and in this case, for delaying what really needs to be said. The whole thing starts with this tiny little misfortune. I dropped some eggs. And the response? It's not some big, dramatic, oh my gosh, no! It's just a simple, perfect bummer. Bummer is such a great word, isn't it? It's basically empathy on a low setting. It acknowledges that, yeah, something annoying happened, but it doesn't blow it out of proportion. 'Cause, let's be real, it's just some eggs. And this shows you exactly what its job is in the conversation. That one word keeps everything light and moving forward. It's like saying, hey, I hear you, that stinks, but it doesn't invite a big emotional discussion. It's the perfect tool for small talk. Then we get this absolute classic. It's a polite little check-in, just common courtesy when you're calling someone out of the blue. You're basically asking for permission to take up their time, especially if you know you're about to ask for something. Now, what's really happening here is a perfect example of beating around the bush. The caller, Luke, he's so clearly avoiding the real point of his call. He's just circling it, talking about anything else instead of getting right to it. And here's the proof. Instead of just asking for what he needs, he completely pivots into this little history lesson on the word tether. Why would he do that? Well, because talking about the real issue is hard. It's uncomfortable. This detour is a stalling tactic, plain and simple. It's a way to put off the serious part of the call for just a little longer. And then it happens, the pivot. This is the moment the conversation just plunges from the light, airy tip of the iceberg straight down into the cold, deep water. He starts off by asking for, a room or two, but the real number is this: 9. 9 rooms. That number alone, the sheer scale of the request, immediately tells you this is not a casual chat anymore. Something big is going on. This is where the real mystery kicks in. Why would somebody spend time beating around the bush, talking about tetherball, only to suddenly drop a request for 9 hotel rooms? The whiplash is intense, and it tells us we've finally hit the real reason for the call. Okay, so now we're going below the surface. We're diving into that hidden, underwater part of the iceberg where the real conversation is taking place. Lorelei, she throws out a cheerful guess, trying to keep the mood light. A reunion? And then boom, the truth hits. In one single, stark word: a funeral. The massive gap between those two words is the entire emotional core of this conversation. Now, just look at the language they start using. Every phrase has a surface meaning, sure, but its function is so much deeper. I was babbling isn't just a comment, it's an apology for the lighthearted tone from before. It's a done deal is more than just confirmation. It's an act of friendship. This is some seriously sophisticated emotional navigation happening right here. Let's zoom in on this line for a second. Notice, Luke doesn't just say he died. He softens that harsh reality with the phrase, he went peacefully, and then he immediately gives the context of his uncle's age. And this is such a common, very human thing we all do, right? We use these gentler phrases, euphemisms, to talk about tough subjects. And adding that he was 85, that isn't just a random fact. It's a way of saying, look, this is really sad, but it wasn't a sudden, shocking tragedy. It helps manage the other person's emotional reaction. And when Lorelai says it's a done deal, she is doing something so powerful. In a moment of absolute stress and grief for her friend, she's not just confirming a hotel booking. She is saying, do not worry about this one thing. I've got you, it's handled. It's this incredible expression of care and support, all disguised as a simple business phrase.
So, after taking this one phone call completely apart, what if we really learned? Let's pull all the big takeaways together.
All right, here are the crucial points. First, small talk isn't meaningless. It's the bridge that gets us to the hard stuff. Second, indirect language is a critical tool for navigating those sensitive moments. You have to remember that words have a job, a social function that goes way beyond their dictionary definition. And sometimes the real story is in the pauses, the detours, and all the things that are left unsaid. Listening for that subtext is everything. So when you boil it all down, this whole iceberg idea teaches us something really profound. True empathy, true understanding. It isn't just about feeling for someone. It's about listening really, really closely and decoding the complex, subtle ways people use language to show you what's actually going on beneath the surface. So the next time you're having what feels like a simple chat, just ask yourself this. Are we just talking about the weather? Or is there a whole world of meaning waiting just below the surface? What's really hidden beneath your next conversation?